find themselves in a position where two white people can literally preside over the dismantling of rights that black people have fought for since the end of slavery, have died for in massive amounts. You know, the levels of rage.
You want to know what's divisive to a country that says e pluribus unum above where the presiding person is? You don't want to know what's divisive? Is telling people in the Congresswoman's state that if you live in a predominantly minority area, we're going to remove polling places and change laws so that black folks disproportionately are waiting 5, 10, 15 times longer.
A massive boycott in all of these strategic places in order to get these people to do something basic. I'm also really tired of this idea, right, that two white people can decide the fate of voting rights.
Don't lecture me about Jim Crow. I know this is not 1965. That's what makes me so outraged. And don't lecture me about Jim Crow. I know this is not 1965. That's what makes me so outraged. It's 2022.
For George Wallace. Do you want to be the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis? This is the moment to decide to defend our democracy.
That was the president in Atlanta last.
Time to go to the extreme and ask people to do the extreme. But let's face it, we have already been doing the extreme in terms of getting voting rights.
And how about negotiating by force? And by that I mean I'm with Martin Luther King III. It's time for some boycotts up in here, okay? There would be no federal holiday, and Arizona wouldn't be celebrating the King holiday if people didn't say, including Stevie Wonder, we're not going to put up with this anymore.
It's time to go to the extreme and ask people to do the extreme. But let's face it, we have already been doing the extreme.
Or choosing a side. Get radical if you're actually on the side of black people and make something happen. It can't continue to be up to us to work with less resources, less power, less money, less time, and try to save the world. That's completely unfair to continue to ask.
Cinema proved that with a historic infrastructure bill that they just passed. That's how you get things done. Slogans and, just yelling isn't the way it works. So if you want to actually get something done, sit down with them and keep talking. And that's what Senator Manchin's going to keep doing.
Are in 2022 kissing the behinds of two senators who can care less about the people in this country. So Jonathan, spare me. That's not how you're going to get things done.
Has very little voter fraud, thank God. They proceeded to pass election laws in 19 states that make it harder for people to vote, with a special focus on people of color, young people, poor people, and people with disabilities, people who might be inclined to vote.
Yeah, and that infrastructure bill, while we do need to repair infrastructure in the United States of America, that is not giving people something they can feel. People can't afford. The poor people are suffering in this country. You got senators who are set for the rest of their natural lives playing games. The president already sat down with them. That tactic, that strategy is not working. And the rest of the senators on the Democratic side need to hold their colleagues accountable, because allegedly Sinema and Manchin are the only two holding out, which we know that's not true. If in fact it is true, though, let me lay that out there. If in fact it is true, then they need to hold their colleagues accountable. This passion, you know what, Brianna, there is a woman in Chicago. Her name is Martise Chisholm. She sent me a text last night saying how sad she is. You know why? Because she is of that child generation that grew up and watched her foreparents. Her great-grandmother was murdered. You hear me? Murdered in January 11th, 1966. And you know why she was murdered? Because she was standing up for voting rights, ran off the road by white supremacists, and decapitated. So there are people who are still alive today who were either children during that time or elders during that time, fighting like hell in heaven to get voting rights. And here we are in 2022 kissing the behinds of two senators who can care less about the people in this country. So Jonathan, spare me. That's not how you're going to get things done. Yeah, I am outraged with a whole bunch of other folks who need to be outraged about what those two and others who are hiding behind them are doing. So President Biden, gas up the jet on these people.